Hello, and welcome back to J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I'm your man, J.P. So what am I doing today? Well, as my last video said, yesterday, by the way, the recording of this video is Friday, September the 8th. Yesterday was my birthday. It was a pretty good day. I had to work, and for the most part, it was just a regular day, but nothing bad happened, so that's always a good day. And my wife brought me home a nice, delicious salad to have for dinner. But my wife also brought me something else yesterday. She went to the store and brought me something else that she bought there that we were looking at last week. That I said, oh, it'd be cool to have that. Well, she brought it home for me, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is part of my birthday present, but ta-da! It's this. It's a Hulk Hogan magazine. It's basically Hulk Hogan's story. Like, basically his career, a little bit of his personal life, all kinds of pictures and articles and stuff in here. But it talks all about his career and everything. There's another picture. But yeah, it talks about his career, a little bit of his personal life. For those of you who haven't seen any of the documentaries about him. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like this. And I'm really grateful to my beautiful, wonderful wife that got this for me. So that's very cool. Now I also wanted to kind of address something. Now on one of my last videos I talked about modern wrestling. And I think I came across as a little bit of a hater. And I really didn't mean to do that. I mean, like I've said before on this channel, there are certain guys in the modern era that I like. There are probably, maybe a dozen or so modern era wrestlers that I like. And once in a while, they'll actually put them in a match or something that I care about. But just in general, for the most part, I don't really care much about modern wrestling. And I was talking about the match where the two guys were doing 4 flippy pile drivers, and I don't really, it's just that I don't really care for that kind of wrestling. I come from an era where, the matches were slower, more methodical, like the bell would ring and the guys would maybe slap themselves like this, and they would run out, then they'd lock up, and then they would go from there. And then, the bad guys might, take a thumb to the eye or pull something out of the trunks or have their manager distract the good guy. But yet the good guy has to find a way to prevail. The good guy has to find a way to beat the bad guy, even though the bad guy's cheating. So, I mean, that's the type of wrestling that I like. So I don't really care for wrestling matches that move so quickly that personally my brain doesn't really have time to process it. I don't really have time to process what's going on when both wrestlers are just moving 100 miles an hour. They're doing this and they're in all these high spots. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, I like when they slow down. Slow down so I can process what you're doing. Plus, when you hurry, that's when more injuries take place, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't like seeing wrestlers injure themselves, and it does happen because, wrestling is fake, but the impact of the moves certainly aren't fake, and the injuries certainly aren't fake, but, that's just kind of what some people like to say. So, anyway, yeah, the Hulkster. Now, I have heard a lot of, I haven't really watched them, but I've seen a lot of videos lately on YouTube about different guys coming forward saying that Hulk Hogan is a liar. He does nothing but lie, blah, 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 blah. And maybe that's true. I don't know. I'm more of a fan of the guy that I saw on TV for all those years, and I'm more of a fan of the guy that I see doing interviews Now, talking about his own personal life. But yeah, when he talks about other guys and stuff that happened backstage, I honestly don't pay much attention to it because it may or may not be true. That's what I've said on my shoot interview video. Like, who do you believe? There's this guy says something about this guy, but this guy says no, that's not true. Here's what really happened. But then this guy's like, oh yes, it did. No, it didn't. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. That's between you guys. I even though I know that Bret the Hitman Hart is not a big fan of Hulk Hogan, I still like them both. I don't want to take sides, and so I want to remember the Hulkster. I want to remember this guy that was basically a live action comic book superhero. That's the Hulk Hogan I want to know. That's the Hulk Hogan I remember. Because the bottom line is none of us are perfect. I know I certainly am not perfect. I know my wife is not. I know none of you are. So when it comes to people that want to be Hulk Hogan haters or whatever, that's fine. Whatever. You like who you like. But I'm sticking with the Hulkster. I'm sticking with this guy. I'm sticking with this guy. I'm sticking with 80s WWF, early and mid 90s WWF, and late 90s WCW. That's my job. That's sort of a 20-year span, 80s and 90s. That's my genre. That's my era of wrestling. I shouldn't say genre, that's music. But yeah, that's my era of wrestling. Like I said, if I could go back and like relive a 20-year span of wrestling, it would be from 1980 all the way till 1999. And 1998-99 would be WCW. The rest of it would be WWF with WCW peppered in and local wrestling. I still like local wrestling. I still like independent wrestling that happens locally in smaller venues. But anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to say. Hulk Hogan Magazine. Thanks, son. I love you. And that is going to do it for this video. So as usual, if you are new, if you're just checking this out, hopefully you're digging what I'm doing here, go ahead and push the like button. And please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time.